Mortal Kombat 11 is home to some truly crazy attacks, from awesome combo extenders to damaging acid puddles and everything in between. But with that said, there are certain other moves that are truly terrible, and sadly many of them are shoved into competitive variations, which means you're forced to either deal with them or ignore them. So today, let's have a look at the worst attacks in Mortal Kombat 11. Number 8. Shao Kahn's taunts. Let's not pretend that we didn't get super hyped when we saw this in Shao Kahn's trailer. Finally, we could roast the opponent the same way Shao Kahn roasted us in every single game where he was a boss character. Seriously, how dope is that? Super awesome idea, and I love that it's in the game. However, there is one small problem: the startup. Look at this, 95 frames. Woof. That is almost 2 full seconds before you can do anything after launching this, which means even if you knock the opponent really far away and then do the taunt, they still have time to get up and punish you. In fact, in some cases, they could dash forward, jump, and start their combos that way because it just takes that long. And to make matters even worse, this move is tied to a crushing blow. You have to do the taunt and then land this string, which doesn't really have any mix-ups at this point in time. Everyone knows there's a low there, and the string is super unsafe and has a flawless block gap. So these taunts, really awesome in theory, and once again, I'm super happy they're in the game, but they take so long to start up that they're never ever going to happen in any competitive setting. And as a result, you now only see one variation for Shao Kahn at every single tournament, and honestly only one player at this point too. Shout out to video games, yo, holding it down with Shao Kahn, making him look top tier when he definitely isn't. Number 7. Sindel's Regal Presence. This move has so much potential, especially in custom combat. However, unfortunately in competitive builds, all you can do is dash with this move and drop out of it, and that's about it. And when you combine the startup with the dash time and the amount of time it takes to land back on the ground, you're not really punishing anything. Now with that said, it's not completely useless, as you can dash around a lot and you can stay up here for a very long time, so if someone's trying to zone you and you have the life lead, you can just stay up here, and if they don't have any air projectiles, they have to come to you. So that's pretty nice, and you can close the gap somewhat in certain situations. But it's just such a shame because this move has so many different things you can do in custom combat. You can scream, you can fire projectiles, you have the burst ability, and that burst can actually launch the opponent to start combos. It's all very, very cool. This move has a ton of potential, but sadly in competitive builds, all you can do is dash or drop out of it. Hopefully, if this game ever does get a variation 4 for all of the characters, Sindel will have access to these moves because they seem like a lot of fun and really good for mind games. Number 6. Raiden's Rolling Thunder. Alright, a quick mini rant. So Raiden has some really, really cool abilities that we don't have access to in Combat League. Just look at this. Look at this hover. How fun is this thing? It's just so darn cool. And sadly, we don't have access to it in Combat League, but in custom combat, this is so much fun. So Raiden has some really cool moves in custom combat, but Rolling Thunder isn't really one of them. Now, once again, this move is not completely worthless, which is why it's not at the bottom on this list, but as far as special moves go, I'm pretty glad we didn't get this one for his variation 3. The only real application for this move could be some extra unblockable damage when the opponent's cornered, but even if you do push the opponent towards the corner, let me show you what happens, because this guy does not stop moving. He just keeps on trucking, so he will keep going until he's off screen. If he stopped in the corner, that would be pretty cool, but the guy just kind of keeps on going. Even so, if done pretty close to the corner and then you throw the opponent, you can net a little bit of extra damage and get like 150, 160, maybe 190 on your throw if you optimize it. So that's kind of nice. You do get some extra damage on your throw, but outside of a little bit of extra unblockable damage, this move isn't very useful. So even though a lot of people are harping on variation 3, especially Raiden mains, I think we can all be grateful Raiden didn't get this move instead. Number 5. Kitana's Dancing Fans. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what this move would actually be for, and worst of all, it replaces Fan Toss, which is actually a really good projectile. So by those standards, this move pales in comparison, but honestly, it might be one of the worst projectiles in the entire game because it can't even combo. Now it does have different distances, but still, this thing's never going to combo. And at first I thought this move might be safe on block because it's so slow, but it turns out no, it's completely punishable on block, even the amplified version. So not only will it never combo, but it's also fully punishable if you go for it up close. Now if you amplify it, It does suspend the opponent for a little bit, so that's nice, but how's it gonna hit them unless they're asleep? It's just so darn slow. And since the opponent only hovers for a short period of time, even if you do trade with the opponent and your projectiles both hit each other, you can't recover in time to actually dash forward and extend the combo, so there's no reason to spin the bar most of the time. Which is a shame, because I feel like if the opponent was suspended in the air for longer, it would be like Sub-Zero's Ice Ball, where you would throw it out and spin the bar when you're doing projectile trading, and then once you get hit, you can still dash forward and convert for a combo. But even in that situation, Kitana does such low damage, the bar wouldn't be worth it in most situations, at least not unless it killed. And once again, this move replaces Fan Toss, so thank goodness we do not have it in a competitive build, because it is certainly not worth it. Number 4, Nightwolf Spirit of Hana. I still don't know what this move does for sure, and neither does anybody online either. According to the game, this move empowers Nightwolf, but that's very vague. It doesn't give you a damage buff like Spirit of Kiba, and it doesn't give you damage resistance like Spirit of Como. It simply empowers Nightwolf, but I scoured the internet and no one's really sure what that means. From what I can tell, the only thing this move does is increase the range of your Rhino charge, so normally it's right there. You dash backwards and now it's a bit further away, and maybe a bit faster too, but is that really all it does? Is that worth 48 frames of startup just to get a bit more range on an okay whiff punish that's super punishable on block? Let me know in the comments, but to me that's not a very big trade-off for such a slow move. But once again, that's all the info I could find on this move, and I was looking all over the internet. So if you have any more knowledge about what this move does, please post in the comments. Number 3, Cassie Cage's Flippin' Out. If you've ever gotten this move by accident in a match, I feel very sorry for you, because unfortunately you are forced to use it. It is in her best competitive build. And despite having 3 different distances for seemingly a lot of different situations, there's no reason to actually use this move. It is plus 20 on hit, so I was thinking, hey, maybe you cancel into it on hit and you're at plus 22. That's pretty decent, but then again, if you want that, you can just spin the bar here and now you're at like plus 50. So once again, no reason for this move, and it's pretty easy to get by mistake. And honestly, it's even worse on whiff. If you miss this move, the opponent has all day to punish you. They can go to the bathroom and then come back and still have time to hit you. It's honestly one of those moves that I feel like NetherRealm forgot about, because Cassie Cage is by no means bad, but this move certainly is. At the very least, it doesn't get in the way, but my goodness is this move worthless, and it's not doing Cassie any favors. Number 2, Terminator's Endoskeleton. Now this one is especially heartbreaking because this move looks really cool and all of us got hype when we saw it in the trailer. But fate is often cruel, and it turns out this move is completely impractical. Terminator might get armor, but his health is so low that he dies almost immediately after transforming. And the entire time he's taking damage, he can't dash, jump, or even block, so he's pretty much guaranteed to die. And on top of all of that, you're likely not going to get this move because it only happens on the 3rd round. So if the opponent kills you in 2, you're just not going to get it. Tough luck, too bad, so sad. So not only is this move completely impractical and guaranteed to get you killed, but you're likely not even going to get it. In fact, the only reason this move's not at number 1 is because it's not in a competitive build. So at the very least, you can just choose not to use it, which can't be said for our number 1 spot. Number 1, Scarlet's Blood Ritual. So this move blows my mind. Despite all the numerous patches and updates this game has gone through, this move has never been improved in the slightest, which is ridiculous because look at those health bars. I took more damage than the opponent. Now you could argue the damage is unblockable, but look how long it takes to do even a slight bit of damage to the opponent. Imagine if they were standing in an acid puddle, it does way more damage. And the entire time I'm doing this move, I can't block, and even if I let go, it takes a very long time before I can block, so it's a guaranteed punish if I ever go for this move. Now in fairness, there is one very specific situation where this move could be useful, and that's if the opponent is right at death's door and I just want to finish him off. But even in that situation, keep in mind it takes almost a full second before damage actually starts to occur. So if the opponent has a teleport, I'm dead. If they have a far-reaching special move of any kind or a fast projectile, I'm still getting hit before I can even get that damage to start. So even in that one very specific situation, this move isn't very useful at all. And I wouldn't be so hard on this move except it's in Scarlet's best variation, which means it takes up 1 slot, which could have been used by any other move that Scarlet has that would have been better. And that's why, in my opinion, this move is the most useless attack in Mortal Kombat 11. But please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Which move do you think is the most useless? And then while you're down there, go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. It really does help my channel out a ton. And finally, why not keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdog.